Alright, you guys, it is Sunday, March 19th, and I don't know what in the world happened here in Florida, but it was like hot as balls, and now it is pretty damn cold outside. I've literally got 3 shirts on. Zach's got his hoodie on over there. We are about to start doing this, but I have got another boat that just came to the house. I got to build for a guy. This will be the next video you guys see after Zach's boat's done. Got a step haul. Boy done brought me some material. Little fuel cell I recommend he change, but I can only recommend things. He's got his rudders and he's got his little motor right here, which we will unwrap in the video for you guys to see it. Not gonna do that now, not gonna spoil anything. We're gonna jump on this. Ain't that right there, Zachary?
Yes, sir.
Woo! Alright, y'all, I welded him on a tab on the back of his battery box for his fuel water separator. Alright, you guys, we set his gas tank in there. It fits. Like with everything, we're going to put little rubbers under there so it's not metal on metal. Same with the seats. We're going to put little rubber washers that I make under the seats so when you're riding, the steel tabs don't eat away the bottom of the seat. Now we're still trying to figure out what the next step we're going to take is. We need to build a bracket to hold his fuel pump. We have to do his back thing on his cage, which you guys will see what I'm talking about here very soon. And we finally also got his back plates put on there to match the front. Same with this side. I've got his other flat bar tab in there to match the front. Alright, y'all. So being this is a fiberglass hull, you could just drill a hole in your angle and run it through your stringer, but it's kind of close to the top. So on these glass boats, what I like to do is weld a tab down off here that goes to about center of the stringer with a hole drilled, so it's not as easy to rip it through the stringers being up towards the top. It puts it down here in the center. So I'm going to go and pre-drill and cut some tabs to weld onto his angle to go down to where his bolt will be centered into the stringer for strength and safety. Alright, you guys, so I've got this flat bar right here I'm going to use. It's good and thick. It'll work just fine. Wish I had something just a hair thinner, but it's what we got left over. So I figured about 3.5 inches for each tab was more than enough. So we're probably just going to go 3.5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark down about 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to pull across. I'm going to mark my 5/8 because it's 1.25 inches wide. I'm going to hit it with my punch right here so it sets a hole for your drill bit to go so it doesn't jump and move all around. It'll hit right in that hole where you punched it at, and you'll have a perfect centered hole. So I'm going to mark this out, hit it with the punch, throw it in the drill press, and get these made. Alright, you guys, usually when I make these, I make it out of a thicker material. Zach went to the store and he claims this is all they had left, so this is what we're going to use. Again, I usually make it thicker and I drill it like that because it kind of looks cool, but this goes right up in here and it is going to be his light holder for his running lights. And the reason I put it back there is because it keeps it protected. A lot of people, you see, they put them on the top here. they go under a low limb or a tree, boom, your light's toast. And here on this cool drilled out piece of metal I got, it's gonna go and mount right in there and be protected. All right, y'all, I got that welded in. See, looks pretty neat. I've got his tabs welded in. We are missing one. We're missing 2 tabs. We ran out of flat plate for 2 of the tabs. So in these glass boats, like I said earlier, you want to get them kind of center in there. But where you put your tabs is everywhere you got a leg. So you got a leg here. You got 3 coming in here, and 1 is your jack. So I put it center there. The one we're missing on each side is right here, because each one of these legs come down, you want one there. So we got the one on the back, got the one here on the back, missing one here on both sides. Zach is currently unbolting the cage, gonna take it off so I can weld up some of the welds that I haven't finished, and we're gonna do the same with the rigging. And again, same on this side. Now they're kind of just tacked in for right now because I don't want to get this too hot and burn up the glass stringers. So when we pull everything out, that's when I'm going to finish all the welds. All right, y'all, we got the cage off the boat. I'm going to go and finish up some of the welds in here that I did not finish yet. Make sure this thing's all ready to go. So when we bolt it back on, we have nothing to worry about. Alright, y'all, cage is completely welded and finished. The wires were not tacked before. They are all tacked together now, nothing loose. We've got the rigging out of the boat, and there's still quite a few welds I need to weld up on there. For example, there's one right there I never welded. Just a bunch of that stuff. Now it's on the ground. When Zach gets his seat unbolted, I'll show you what I mean by being able to move the rigging around and manipulate it to make easy, nice welds. So hopefully he's done by the time I get done over here. Got his motor off, way up in the air. Boat has no rigging in it. All right, we're just gonna make this happen faster. Boom, he got it off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the rigging, throw it up on its back like this. Now I can get underneath it, weld upright. Everything will look good. If I need to, throw it on its side to get something. That's why I like taking it out of the boat to do all this, because you get to get everything you missed and not have to weld upside down. Alright guys, just another pointer. When you guys are welding up your rigging or whatever, if you're welding on anything and you got a structure, you want to weld and jump around, like, meaning do a little bit here, go down there on that side, do a little there, jump up to the front, jump back to the bottom, jump to somewhere in here, then jump back to this bottom. Do a little at a time, because you don't want to get it too hot, because when you get it real hot, metal warps. It does strange things when you put heat to it, and you want to keep everything in line, even though it all should be all braced and done right. But putting heat on your angle, it'll bow, guys. It'll bend, it'll do crazy things. So weld a little, move to another spot, weld a little bit, move to another spot, weld a little bit, move to another spot. Alright you guys, well, we had it up. I also put on the put on the fuel pump bracket we made. Super light, simple, easy. But she's done, guys. Alright, y'all, so I don't recommend spray paint. It's not bad. People have been spray painting their conduit rigging for many years, and it works for a lot of people. I don't recommend it, but we went ahead and spray painted it. That way it has something on there to somewhat protect it till Zach gets around to painting his hull and repainting everything. But if you're going to spray paint it or even paint your rigging, I recommend you wipe down your metal that you're painting with vinegar. It helps. I don't know what it does. It just helps it just helps to take all the nasty stuff off the outside to where the paint sticks. I don't know exactly how it works, but it does. I learned that from a buddy of mine that works in a welding shop. So we ran out of spray paint though. Got the cage somewhat painted, but it still needs like another 2 cans, 3 cans maybe. And we got this somewhat painted. So we are going to work on getting it all back together and put on Zach's boat so he can take it home and finish what he needs to finish. Then he will be bringing it back for poly. That is going to be a whole separate video in itself, separate from the new project build 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you want to see how to do poly install, you'll have to subscribe so you can see us do it on this boat. Alright, you guys, we got his motor back on. He's just tightening up his motor mount bolts and nuts, and he's still got to bring it back because we're going to polish up the motor. These aircraft cases are aluminum, so we're going to take a wire wheel and a drill, strip all the paint off there, make it shine. We're going to detail this motor and make it look really good.
I told him, I was like, get rid of that stainless crap. You got conduit rigging. Stainless.
So Zach is bolting on his cage. We just put that back on. It slides on so easily and lines up so perfectly. I started riveting down his walkboard, but the bit broke about right here. Zach bought some cheapos, so there will be a part 5 to this build. He's gonna have to bring it back. We're gonna have to cut a hole in his floorboard for his foot pedal or his gas pedal, possibly weld some kind of bracket for his cable to go on. We never did his blow-by tube, which we're going to have to do. It would be easier for me to show you on my boat, but what I do is I take my boat is stainless, but this is conduit, so I'm going to take a piece of conduit, put some tabs on here, and bend it to where he hooks up his blow-by tube to the conduit that's going to wrap up and go over his cage and off the center of the back. I do that because the hoses that your blow-by tubes go in, they usually go bad after a few years from the sun. This won't go bad this way. If it does, he's only got to replace a little 1-foot hose or whatever it is that goes to the end of it. But we're still working on getting it all put together and bolted up so he can take it home. So that's what we're working on. And in part 5, you will see the boat painted and having its T-molding on the edges here. So stay tuned for part 5 if you guys really want to see how this boat turns out. And part 6 will be us running it down the river, and I will give Zach his own GoPro so you guys can see how this thing runs instead of me trying to film him from my boat. Alright y'all, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, you guys are watching Bucks, Ammo, and Arrows. This is another YCF Airboat Productions Young Customs Fabrication. That's what YCF stands for, is Young's Custom Fabrications. You guys can find me on Instagram on Official Bucks Ammo and Arrows, Facebook, Travis Young, Young's Custom Fabrications, Ycf Airboats. We did it again. We pumped him out. Zach's going to be taking the old girl home. He's got to bring it back for part 5 for a couple little detailed things, which I've already mentioned and told you guys about. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, as always, I love you. Jesus loves you. And until next time, guys, see ya.